Hello my dear SSLC students, welcome back to English classroom. In this video I am going to discuss with you some of important 3 and 4 marks questions and answers, and I am also going to discuss some of important references. So let's begin the video now. The wrong man in Workers' Paradise. What changes were noticed in the movement and attitude of the girl of the silent torrent after the man gave her the painted picture? Movement on the road. Earlier, her movement on the road was like the rapid movement of a skilled hand on the strings of a guitar. But after she saw the painted picture, her hurrying feet were a little less hurried. Dressing. Earlier, she would be busy in her work and never bothered about her dressing. But after she got the picture, she spent a lot of time every day in dressing, and time slipped by unutilized, and much work was left unfinished. A new sense of art. The picture, which was meaningless and served no purpose earlier, awakened in her a new sense of art. Second question. There are two worlds in the story, the world of the idle artist and the world of the inhabitants of the workers' paradise. Which world is better and why? The world of the idle artist. This is the world of artistic pleasure, full of whims and fancies, colors and designs, creativity and recreation. These people worshipped arts like painting, sculpturing, singing, but they lack utility. The world of work and no relaxation. It means the workers' paradise. People were bustling about doing some useful work, and they don't have any time to stop and admire art. They do not want to waste time on art. They thought that wasting time on art is the waste of time. This is the world mere utility. When these two worlds come together, they can make a good world. Things become complete when beauty goes along with utility. Third question. Men in workers' paradise say, "God, we haven't a moment to spare." The man says, "I haven't a moment to spare for work." Keeping in mind the above statements, contrast the attitude of the men in the paradise with that of the artist. The first one, the attitude of the men in the paradise. The men in the workers' paradise had time for everything, but they don't have the time for leisure. They spent the entire day working, and this work gave them extreme pleasure. People were bustling about doing some useful work. And the second, the attitude of the artist. The artist, on the other hand, spent all his time idling around. He lounged in the streets, lay down in the meadows, or near the streams. All these things made him happy. All of them felt what they were doing was the most important thing, and hence could not understand one another. Fourth question. Write briefly the proceedings of the meetings of the elders in the workers' paradise. All the elders were gathered and agreed that work had suffered. They had discussed on the matter of people wasting their precious time on useless things. A real messenger appeared there and confessed that it was all because of the wrong man whom he had brought into the paradise. The man was summoned. Seeing his dress, brushes and paints, they realized that this was not the right place for him. The president asked him to leave the paradise. He agreed and ready to leave. The girl of the silent torrent too decided to go with him. All the people were surprised about this. Fifth question. How did the idler spend his time in workers' paradise? The idler was a misfit in workers' paradise. The idler was always a man who indulged in mad whims. While others found more work to do, he spent his time on painting and sculpturing. So when the man was accidentally sent to workers' paradise, he continued to indulge in the arts. He used to lounge around the streets absent-mindedly and obstruct the path of others. He spent a lot of time lying down in the middle or near the fast-flowing stream. He is also seen spending time on the banks of the Torrent, where he met the girl carrying the pitchers. The man, after meeting the girl, took up the activity of painting on the pitcher. He made colorful ribbons for the girl. Let's discuss some reference now from the lesson. Only these are the examples. The first one, I brought a wrong man into this paradise. This line has been taken from the prose A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise by Rabindranath Tagore. Aerial messenger said these words to elders. Elders realized that idler was not right for that place as the work began to suffer. The active became idle as they were wasting their precious time in painting. So the elders became anxious. A meeting was called. The aerial messenger appeared and confessed that he had made a mistake by bringing the wrong man into workers' paradise. So the busy girl of heaven was filled with pity. This is the second reference. This line has been taken from the lesson A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise by Rabindranath Tagore. Here the girl felt pity for the painter, who has been compared to a lonely beggar. She felt very sad for him, as she thought that he had no work to do, whereas everyone in paradise was busy doing something. None sat idle there, so she offered to give him some work with pity. The third example, for reference, I have not a moment to spare for work. This line has been taken from the lesson A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise by Rabindranath Tagore. This is the common line you have to write for any reference from this lesson. The idle man said the above words to the girl. One day the girl of the silent torrent saw the idler was standing by the stream. She, filled with pity, asked him why he is not doing any work, whether he had work in hand or not. That time, idle person used the above statement to girl. These words really confused the girl.